Paige. She's breaking down the new data minute by minute. So what is the timing on all this?
Yeah, so the rain for at least the beginning portion of this system will begin late tonight. So as most of us are in bed, and by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, a lot of us are going to be dealing with some of these showers. This is the leading edge of this next system. Through tomorrow afternoon, cold front comes in, temperatures will fall through the afternoon, and that's when we're going to start seeing that transition west to east of rain changing over to some of that snow, so that by tomorrow night, pretty much everybody is going to be dealing with snow by this point, and that's where some of the trickier travel is going to start to take over through the day on Monday, and potentially for some lasting into early Tuesday morning. So that's why we essentially have expanded that 19 first alert weather day to include tomorrow evening through Tuesday morning, just because that's when we're going to see some of those higher impacts. Now, where we expect some of the highest of the snowfall totals and the more persistent bands of lake effect snow, that's going to be out across our secondary as well as our primary snow belts, which is why the National Weather Service issued those winter storm watches for several of those counties that are encompassed within that primary to secondary snow belt, because that's where you have some of that higher snowfall potential. But everybody could potentially be dealing with some slick road conditions from time to time, as well as reduced visibility thanks to some gusty winds. And we also still have a lot of leaves on some of these trees, and with this heavy wet snow coming in, that could break off some of those branches and lead to some sporadic power outages as well. So please just be mindful of that. We know the first snow of the season always tends to cause some slowdowns as well as some travel headaches across Northeast Ohio. So that is the main reason that we've issued this 19 first alert weather day, or days I should say at this point. But we're also going to have some measurable snow. It's going to be shovelable in some spots. And yes, even with those warmer ground temperatures, we will likely see some accumulation, especially on roadways. Think bridges, overpasses. Those are going to be some of the first spots that get really slick as we get into early Monday. It's also going to be windy. It's going to be cold. Wind chill values by Monday morning, teens to 20s. So this is going to be more reminiscent of January rather than where we're sitting right now, which is approaching the middle part of the month of November. You'll notice some of the rain starting to work into western Ohio. That's all associated with this area of low pressure. We've also been seeing some pretty steady mixing in that transition over to some of that snow, basically across northern Indiana into southwestern Michigan. And that's some of that colder air that will eventually close in on our region by tomorrow afternoon. For now, it's just a couple of these spotty showers. Most of the rain still light at this point. I don't expect overly heavy rainfall totals in the short term. And with the added cloud cover, temperatures should stay into the upper 30 to low 40 degree temperature range as we head through the overnight and get into early tomorrow morning. But by the time you wake up, many of us will likely be dealing with the rain. I'm going to walk you through all the new hour-by-hour data and talk about where those snowfall totals stand coming up in just a few minutes.